Hi everyone, welcome to Lex Prep. We are going to discuss the international affairs from 3 days, from 21st of March till 23rd of March. And I'm going to use Indian Express as my reference. And I'm going to tell you a lot about what is going on internationally so that the general trend, the facts in news, the points in news are always there with you. So first, as you can see, it is the Baloch militants have attacked Gwadar port, right? And basically, the issue of Balochistan is there. So you can look in the map, and you will find that Balochistan is a region in Pakistan around this. Gwadar port is very close to Gujarat, right? Gwadar port here, as you can see, is very close to Gujarat. Now, this region, the Balochistan that is there, is some sort of, you can say, integration problem. So there is a history that goes back where Muhammad Ali Jinnah, right, decided to include this particular region, the Balochistan region, into Pakistan, and the people of Balochistan, the consent of the people were not taken, were not paid due regards. So it is very much similar to the issue of Jammu and Kashmir that we have in India, right? But the growth of militancy in that region is also opposed to Chinese investments over CPEC, that is China Pakistan Economic Corridor, which was started in 2013. And a lot many times, the workers, Chinese workers, have faced attack from Baloch militants. Recently, you must have also seen that there is consistent attack by a terror outfit in Afghanistan, that is Tehreek-e-Taliban, right? So Tehreek-e-Pakistan Taliban, something like that, and then there was some attack from Iran, right? So Pakistan is one country which is facing a lot of terrorist attacks from neighboring countries, as you can see. And Balochistan is one region which is between Pakistan, and on the other side you have, so Pakistan is on the one side, we have Iran, right? On the other side we have Afghanistan, if you can notice. So this is Afghanistan and this is Iran, and Balochistan is a region around that. However, this is what you need to remember, and a lot of facts are also there. For example, the name of the organization that attacked. So it is Balochistan Liberation Army, and why they have attacked. So these are important. These statements are important for statement-based questions that you generally encounter, right? So they have attacked because they are opposed to China's investments in Balochistan, and they accuse China and Pakistan of exploitation of the resource-rich region, right? And Pakistan has denied this charge. So the coastline that is there, the coast that is there is the Makran coast. The coast that is there is Makran coast, right? What is the name of the coast? Makran coast. The UN Department for Safety and Security had stated that seven personnel from three UN agencies based in Gwadar and two UN agencies on missions were safe and accounted for. So United Nations Department for Safety and Security has clearly stated that UN officers were not attacked in this, right? Now Balochistan Liberation Army has one of the brigades which is named as the Majid Brigade. Now Majid Brigade of Balochistan Liberation Army is trained in conducting suicide attacks. Now this Majid name is after the guard of former Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto of Pakistan, who was killed while attempted to assassinate him. So this guard wanted to assassinate Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, but he could not do so, and the assassination attempt failed, right? So if you trace the history of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, then you will realize that it is related to Benazir Bhutto, and largely they were the largest opposition of Pakistan Muslim League, but recently they have aligned together, right? And Imran Khan's party has been left under the covers, under the blanket. So this is what is going on in Pakistan. Okay. Moving further ahead, you will find that since Taliban has taken over the government in Kabul, a lot of differences have occurred, and most of the issues I have already told you about this. So, what is the Balochistan issue? So, again, they are saying that the issue is that the provincial autonomy, the participation of Balochi people is not there. Where you will find that Balochistan Awam Party, BAP founder, was the interim prime minister of Pakistan so far, right? And his name was Anwar ul Haq. So we all know him, and he was the interim prime minister. The second news is from coming from the ASEAN region, where you will find that the president Vo Van Thong, VVT, Vo Van Thong of Vietnam has decided to resign after uh, campaigns against the corruption within the Communist Party. Now, Communist Party considers that this campaign, public campaign against highlighting the corruptions during the COVID, a lot of corruption cases were there against the government, and the former president of Vietnam had resigned, and his name was Nguyen Xuan Phuc. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce it, but this was the name. So this news is there. You will find some sort of political disturbance going on. Along with this, there is another news on 22nd of March where you will find there are certain issues going on with Indonesia's president election. And Joko Widodo, who is the current incumbent, you can say, president of Indonesia, is going away. I mean, his tenure is getting completed. So his son was taking part in that election. So we'll take that. But you see, if ASEAN, there is a passage on ASEAN meeting, all of these questions can be given clubbed together. So you will remember the name Vo Van Thong from Vietnam, right? Communist Party giving resignation. This is one news. Now, another question can appear that which recent country had decided to ban e-cigarettes? You see, always you will find that New Zealand is one of those countries which takes very active reforms, legislations, right? So it's sort of a very liberal country. Now, New Zealand is one country which had decided to ban tobacco, the sale, purchase of tobacco. But e-cigarettes were left unregulated. Now, for them, now New Zealand has imposed a ban on disposable e-cigarettes or vapes, and raised the financial penalties for those who sell such products to minors. So this is important fact. Minors are in focus, right? Direct question, and very simple thing to remember and note. All right, moving to the next part. Now, again, since we are discussing about the president only, so there is this another prime minister who will, you will see, is has given submitted his resignation. While his resignation is not yet accepted, but that is yet to be seen. So Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar, he happens to be the first gay prime minister of Ireland, and he was elected in 2017. He has decided to step down, right? Though it does not mean, if the prime minister is resigning, it does not mean that there would be fresh elections. Somebody from the majority party would be selected, and that he would become the prime minister, because it is some sort of the parliament that we have in Britain, which is run by, which is usually run by presence of more number of members of that party in the house. So even in India, if Prime Minister Narendra Modi resigns, Bharatiya Janata Party still has the majority in Lok Sabha, so they can choose another face. So that does not necessarily mean yet. But if a no confidence motion is passed against the present government, then definitely either the new government will be formed, right? Or then it would call for the fresh elections, right? So this is something that you will keep a tab on. The name of the party is Fine Gal Party. So Fine Gay Party, whatever helps you to remember it. And then there would be a vote that will be conducted. All right. So you just name Tausich. That is what they call their prime minister. Now coming to the aspects of United States of America, we have two news. Uh, First is that you can see the US Secretary has decided to visit West Asia sixth time, where he's trying to, discuss peace settlements, peace negotiations. And who is the US Secretary of State? Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken arrived in Saudi Arabia, right? And he is on a tour of Middle East. He hopes that there is some hope for a ceasefire during the Ramadan week. That is what there, and a lot of incidents have increased in the Al Shifa hospital region. Then he will also go and meet the president of Egypt. So he has met the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, right, of Saudi Arabia, and after that he'll go to Egypt. So you will find that there was no plan for him to visit Israel, but he met with midway, right? And then you see there is one issue that yes is coming again and again is with respect to the ground invasion, the ground assault of Rafah. You see, what do you mean by ground assault of Rafah, and where is Rafah? So Rafah, as a region within the Gaza Strip, is very close to the border of Israel with Egypt. So there Al Bala is the stop. सबसे पहले गाजा सिटी है, फिर देर अल बाला, उसके बाद खान यूनिस आपने सुना था बीच में न्यूज़ में, और ये न्यूज़ चल रही थी हमारे जनवरी के मंथ में जब खान यूनिस पे इसराइल रेड कर रही थी, एयर रेड्स कर रही थी, पर्चे एरोप्लेन से गिराए थे टू वैकेट दैट रीजन। और उसके बाद खान यूनिस से लोग भागते हुए, करीब करीब 23 लाख लोग भागते हुए आए हैं रफ़ा सिटी पे। अब ये बॉर्डर का एरिया है। अब इजिप्ट अपने बॉर्डर्स खोल नहीं रहा है बिकॉज इजिप्ट इज़ नॉट अलाउिंग these people to enter into Egyptian territories. And the option that they have right now is move towards Jordan. So you will find that Jordan is actively involved in discussing peace talks with Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu and Saudi Arabia is also involved. Qatar is also involved, right? So the ground assault of Rafah has to be stopped. This is what United Nations, most of the countries in General Assembly are saying. Now, how they are saying it? They are saying that there has to be immediate ceasefire. You will find that America proposed a resolution in United Nations Security Council calling out for ceasefire, which was vetoed by Russia and China. And recently, so it could not pass. And recently, I mean, yesterday, that is on 25th of March, on 26th of March, not 25th of March, 26th of March, in United Nations Security Council, Algeria proposed a resolution which was passed, where United States of America has abstained and Israel is saying that गलत बात है यार, तुमने abstain क्यों किया, तुमको तो veto करना चाहिए था. So United States of America is putting pressure on Israel to bring a ceasefire, right? But Benjamin Netanyahu is stating that 1/4 of the Hamas militants are right now in Rafah, and then definitely it would be a ground assault. We will target everyone who is affiliated to Hamas. So this is like Israel has taken a tough stand that it will eliminate Hamas, right? Now the other aspect of United States of America is that they are going to face election. And you will find, you see, the public tension between the US and Israel has little precedent in Israel's history as a close ally US since its foundation began in 1948, right? Netanyahu is increasingly aligning with Biden's domestic opponents in a US presidential election year. So again, see, this is a silent way where the newspaper is trying to tell you one interesting thing, and you will find that for Donald Trump, that is for a Republican party, okay, Ukraine issue aid to Ukraine is not important. Aid to Ukraine is not important. For Republican Party, whenever Donald Trump has taken tough decisions against Iran, it has targeted Iran over its nuclear policy. It has targeted Iran for its support to terror outfits. A lot of tough stand. Donald Trump is against Iran, you can say. For Donald Trump, when he was in power, then Russia and America relations were neutral on most of the issues. Benjamin Netanyahu knows that Biden party, that is a Democrat party, will put pressure on them because they are in power in America. They will put pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to cease fire. But Benjamin Netanyahu is putting pressure over America as well because he knows that there are very 50-50 chances for Republican Party candidate Donald Trump to win presidential elections in America. This is where you will find that how domestic politics of America is influencing or is forecasting, some sort of risk assessment needs to be taken, some sort of prediction is there, how it is affecting the foreign policy of America. You will find here the similar state news telling you one interesting fact that the Trump son-in-law praises valuable potential of Gaza waterfront property. So, a businessman, right? His son-in-law is seeing Gaza as a waterfront property because Gaza Strip is facing Mediterranean Sea. So, if that can be safeguarded by Israel, right? So he's saying Israel should remove civilians while it cleans up the area. So you will find here that the Republican candidate, right, Jared Kushner, I don't know how to state his name. I'm very bad with pronunciations, so ignore that fact because I don't have to give press conferences. So Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's former White House advisor and his son-in-law, praised the very valuable potential of Gaza's waterfront property. Gaza's waterfront property would be very valuable from Israel's perspective, right? I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. So, Republicans are supporting what? Operations of Israel against Hamas in Gaza Strip. Coming to the next aspect of Russia-US relations. So this is one international news of one international, you can say, um international affairs of one day. And see, there is so much. अच्छा, थोड़ा सा analysis would be a very different. My analysis, newspaper analysis, you will find very, very different. It would be थोड़ा सा lengthy. It would be linking current affairs from one point to another to another to another. So it goes on like story in our head. We also understand multiple dimensions कि अच्छा ये भी involved है. Now, there is one another way to present newspapers, which I don't usually follow and I don't usually subscribe to, is to create PPTs, fact-based information. Now, fact-based information becomes too much rote learning thing for me. I believe that because you see, 2024 Clat paper, assessment-based questions were there. So even if you knew a lot of facts, you don't know the context, you will not be able to solve. Mistakes हो जाती हैं ऐसे questions में, और obvious mistakes नहीं होती हैं, वो avoidable mistakes होती हैं. So in that case, understanding the context is equally very important. So coming to the next part is where Russia responds easily to US hint on talks over nuclear control. So Democrats right now are trying to discuss, right, are trying to discuss nuclear talks with each other. And there were a lot of nuclear agreements between them, start 1, start 2, right? सबका टाइम पीरियड ख़त्म हो गया है और रशिया ने उन ट्रीटीज़ का न्यूक्लियर आर्म्स टाइज का जो एक्सटेंशन है वो करने से मना कर दिया है. स्टार्ट 1, स्टार्ट 2 दोनों के बारे में आप पढ़िएगा. ऐसे में अमेरिका चाह रहा है कि हम रशिया से दोबारा बात कर लें और न्यूक्लियर जो एग्रीमेंट्स हैं उसको क्या कर लें, वैसे आर्म कंट्रोल करना एक तरीके से कि आपके पास जो न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स हैं आप उसको बढ़ाएंगे नहीं, प्रोलिफरेट नहीं करेंगे और जितना है उसको धीरे धीरे रिमूव करेंगे। तो यहाँ पे रशिया इज़ लिटिल बिट स्केप्टिकल बिकॉज रशिया ने ये कहा है दैट आप प्राइवेट कंपनीज़ की सैटेलाइट्स को यूज़ कर रहे हैं हमारे ऊपर स्पाइंग करने के लिए, वो हमारे सॉवरेन एयर स्पेस का वायलेशन है एंड देयर बाय वी आर नॉट सीइंग एनी टॉक्स ओवर न्यूक्लियर कंट्रोल। So this is interrelated aspect of United States of America you will find. Now in this news, the next news that we have is the Rwanda deportation bill. So in again coming back to the politics of UK, there are two types of parties. One party is the Conservative Party, okay, and other party is the Labour Party, right? Now, Conservative Party is like more leaning towards United Kingdom, उनकी values, UK पहले, UK के लोग पहले। और जो दूसरी जो लेबर पार्टी है वो आपको पता है कि लेबर पार्टी ऐसी थी जो ब्रिटेन की पार्लियामेंट में उनके कॉलोनीज़ के आगे फेवर में बोलती थी और कहती थी कि ब्रिटेन को कॉलोनीज़ को खाली कर देना चाहिए। तो इंडिया का जो आपको पता होगा कि फ्रीडम मूव जब हम आज़ाद हुए तो उस टाइम पे यूके में जो पार्टी थी दैट वाज द लेबर पार्टी। अब रवांडा डिपोर्टेशन बिल है क्या एसेंशियली और कैसे होगा वहाँ पे पास? तो जो उनका हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स है वही ये लोकसभा राज्यसभा वाला सिस्टम है। तो हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स से पास होके वो हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स पे जाता है, वहाँ पे डिस्कशन होगा, वो उसको पास करेंगे। यूके की सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डिपोर्टेशन, फोर्स्ड डिपोर्टेशन, ये कह रहा है यूके ये कह रहा है कि हमारे यहाँ पे जो भी इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स हैं या जो भी असाइलम सीकर्स हैं, राइट, जो भी असाइलम सीकर्स हैं, हमारे पास जगह नहीं है उनको रखने के लिए, तो हम उनको रवांडा में डिपोर्ट करेंगे और रवांडा में जो भी उनका ध्यान रखना है, ख्याल रखना है, वो यूके के कॉस्ट पे होगा। बिकॉज जो असाइलम सीकर्स के राइट्स होते हैं कि उसको खाना पानी मिलना चाहिए और हेल्थ अच्छी होनी चाहिए और जो भी उसके राइट्स होते हैं अंडर इंटरनेशनल लॉ, वो सब उसको रवांडा में हम प्रोवाइड करवा पाएंगे। अब यूके का प्राइम मिनिस्टर इस समय एक बिल को प्रपोज़ किया, उसकी पार्टी ने प्रपोज़ किया, हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में पास हुआ, हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स। लेकिन जब ब्रिटेन के जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस पॉलिसी के ख़िलाफ़ बोल दिया कि ये सही नहीं समझ में आता है, उसके बावजूद भी इस बिल को कंटिन्यू करना थोड़ा सा गलत समझ में आ रहा है। और ऐसे कंजर्वेटिव, इनकी पार्टी के ही जो कंजर्वेटिव लीडर्स हैं वही ये बात को क्रिटिसाइज़ कर रहे हैं कि दिस शुड नॉट बी पुश्ड थ्रू। तो हाउस ऑफ लॉर्ड्स, the unelected counterpart to the House of Commons, could mark a rare moment in Britain's politics, and that is going on in this United Kingdom right now. You don't have to remember the names, but you have to remember okay क्या चल रहा है वहाँ की पार्लियामेंट में, उस कंट्री में। और सिर्फ यूके ही नहीं, आपको मोस्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज़ दिखाई देंगी इस समय, जो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज़ हैं, वेस्टर्न इकोनॉमीज़ हैं, डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमीज़ हैं, दे ऑल ऑफ देम आर लुकिंग इनवर्ड्स। तो अपनी इकोनॉमी, अपना इंडस्ट्री, अपना क्राफ्ट, अपने लोग, उनके रिसोर्सेस, तो सिटीजन्स फर्स्ट वाली चीज़ चल रही है। आपको क्या ऐसा कुछ इंडिया में भी दिखाई दे रहा है? तो आपको इंडिया में भी ये सिमिलर चीज़ होते हुए दिखाई देगी। दो एक नाम डिपोर्टेशन बिल नहीं है, पर उसको आप समझिए कि सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट एक्ट क्या है, एक तरीके से किसी भी तरीके का डेमोग्राफिक पैटर्न को अफेक्ट करने वाला लॉ है। तो वो चीज़ इंडिया में भी चल रही है। सिमिलरली आपको एक न्यूज़ और इसी तरीके की दिखाई देगी विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी माइग्रेशन का इशू चल रहा है, तो वो भी अपने वीज़ा के जो नॉर्म्स हैं उनको काफ़ी स्ट्रिक्ट बना रहे हैं, ठीक है। वहीं आप इस फोटोग्राफ को देखिए, तो ये फ़ोटोग्राफ है रोहिंग्यंस की। ये रोहिंग्यन कौन है? जो म्यांमार से परसिक्यूशन को अवॉइड करते हुए वहाँ से भागे थे और इनकी बोट इंडोनेशिया के पास कैप्साइज हो गई, पलट गई। 69 पीपल वर रेस्क्यूड बाय एन इंडोनेशियन सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू शिप। So you will find that this is one Muslim community which has faced persecution. They have been given refuge in India. रोहिंग्यंस जो बांग्लादेश के रास्ते से भारत में आए थे, उनके असाइलम की कंडीशंस को वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट और यूनियन गवर्नमेंट दोनों ने ध्यान में रखा है। इनमें से कुछ रोहिंग्यन मुस्लिम्स एलिजेडली कश्मीर जाके मिलिटेंट्स के साथ भी ज्वाइन हुए थे, बट डेफिनेटली द इंटेंशन वॉज नॉट टू वेज वॉर अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बट टू ओनली सिक्योर इनकम, पैसा थोड़ा बचाने के लिए। वो चीज़ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी आई थी। तो इंडिया ने फोर्सफुल डिपोर्टेशन उनका रोहिंग्यन रेफ्यूजीज़ का नहीं किया, लेकिन बांग्लादेश से इंडिया ने बात ज़रूर करी है कि हमारे पास जो भी रोहिंग्यंस हैं हम उनको रखने की जगह नहीं है। तो दोनों बांग्लादेश की गवर्नमेंट ने भशनशार आइलैंड में ये इन लोगों के रहने के लिए हाउसिंग प्रोग्राम बनाया है। ठीक है, तो ये चीज़ आपको देखिए दिखाई देगी कि इंटरनेशनली सब चीज़ एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड होती है। फिर वहीं आपको दिखाई देगा कि रशिया कुछ दिन पहले मना कर रहा था कि वो बात नहीं करेगा अमेरिका से न्यूक्लियर पॉलिसी के ऊपर, और उसके बाद उसने कीव में 31 मिसाइल्स दाग दी। तो रशिया फायर्ड 31 बैलिस्टिक एंड क्रूज मिसाइल्स एट कीव बिफोर डॉन in the first attack on the Ukrainian capital in 44 days. Air defenses shot down all the incoming missiles, though 13 people, including a child, were injured by falling wreckage. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 2 ballistic missiles and 29 cruise missiles against the capital. Increasing tensions. European Union leaders arrived at a summit on Thursday to discuss whether to use billions of euros in profits from frozen Russian financial assets to buy arms for Ukraine. Russia on Wednesday described the EU plan as banditism and theft. Do you see what is going on right now? यूरोपियन यूनियन ने जो रशियन कंपनीज थी, भाई ट्रेड तो चलता था यूरोप और रशिया के बीच में, तो रशियन कंपनीज के पैसों को बैंक्स में फ्रीज कर दिया। अब मान लो कि $1 मिलियन या 1 मिलियन यूरोस किसी यूरोपियन बैंक में रशिया के बिजनेस पर्सन का फंसा हुआ है, तुमने वो फ्रीज कर लिया तो वो निकाल नहीं सकता। अब यूरोपियन यूनियन ये बात कर रहा है कि जो फ्रीज एसेट्स हैं उसमें बिलियंस ऑफ यूरोज हैं, उसको हम यूज़ करके यूक्रेन को वेपन प्रोवाइड करा दें अगेंस्ट रशिया। डेफिनेटली ये टेंशंस को एस्केलेट करेगा। आप इकोनॉमी को उसकी रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर रहे हो बहुत ज़्यादा। रशियन प्रेसिडेंट व्लादिमीर पुतिन हैड थ्रेटेंड टू रिस्पॉन्ड इन काइंड टू द अटैक्स, राइट, एंड इट इज़ सेइंग रशिया हैज स्टेटेड द रशिया का बेल्गोरोड रीजन जो है, जो ऑब्वियसली यूक्रेन को बॉर्डर करता है, वहाँ पे यूक्रेन ने अटैक किया तो हमने उसका काउंटर जवाब दिया है कीव पे अटैक करके। पुतिन हैड सेड रशिया कैन रिस्पॉन्ड इन द सेम वे रिगार्डिंग सिविलियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। What is it? What the Putin is saying? Putin is saying that civilians can be killed in our attacks. Right now, they are not focusing on civilians, but it's like a warning, because if Ukraine is able to strike down the missiles, that does not mean that Ukraine has advanced weaponry, but it also means that missiles were not really launched with an intent to kill, only to warn. And then you will find another news, that is where you will find that again Pakistan se related to suicide blast in KPK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Now Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province again is facing attack. A suicide bomber rammed a vehicle laden with explosives against a convoy of security forces in Pakistan's restive northwest region on Thursday. Right, it happened in the Dehra Ismail Khan district. Right, so who has attacked and all of this is not yet known, but you will find Khyber Pakhtunkhwa may be terrorist attack. So Pakistan is getting the taste of its own medicines. Now you will find that truce possible as gaps are narrowing. This is what United States had stated in drafting of the UN resolution, but later on it was not adopted. Right, very important. Another news that I want to share is from this, the Neuralink of Musk. So Neuralink of Musk had installed a brain chip in a person who was going through a paralysis. And what's his name? His name is Noland Arbog. Remember the name, very important, because most of the newspapers are not covering the name. So the Neuralink, the name is Noland Arbog, and he was seen playing chess. Right, he's a 29-year-old patient who was paralyzed. So he is practically not able to use his hands, use his limbs. Now with his thoughts only, he is able to move the cursor in the computer, which is enabling him to play chess. So the name can be asked in the Clat examination, very important. So you will keep a tab on this. Next part, as I had already told you this, that Russia-China has blocked US-sponsored UNSC resolution for Gaza ceasefire. Now, who are the 5 non-permanent members of United Nations Security Council as of now? So we have Guyana, we have Algeria, we have Slovenia, and we have South Korea. I'm missing on one name. So we have South Korea, we have Guyana, we have Slovenia, then Algeria. What am I missing? Slovenia, एशिया से साउथ कोरिया है, ठीक है. There is one country from West Africa. What's the name of that country? It is Sierra Leone. So that was the name, and it's from Central Europe. So as you know, United Nations Security Council has 10 non-permanent members, and every year 5 members are selected. So for 2024-25, these 5 members are there. Again, that's an interesting news. Told Blinken, Israel will go into Rafah alone if needed. So he's not ready to give up. Okay. Russia witnessed gunman attack concert venue near Moscow. What is the name of the concert? The name of the concert hall is Crocus City Hall. It was a music venue near Moscow, and there is this rock band called Republic, who was going to perform, and the entire hall was sold out. Show was sold out. And then that hall had the capacity to accommodate 6,000 people, right? And around 137 people have died. The numbers are still increasing. So this is, you will find here that okay, रशिया में टेररिस्ट अटैक हो गया. फिर यहाँ पे आपको दिखाई देगा यूक्रेन फेसेस लार्जेस्ट रशियन स्ट्राइक ऑन एनर्जी फैसिलिटीज़. Now Russia is attacking the key electricity source of electricity infrastructure, which has killed 5 people and is threatening basically 10 lakh people around. They will go without electricity, right? So कुछ दिन 2 दिन पहले अभी बोला था ना रशिया ने सिविलियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. अब जब सिविलियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बोला तो उसने कर दिया अटैक. कहाँ पे? बिजली पे. तो देखिए आपको ये चीज़ें कितनी इंटर रिलेटेड दिखाई देंगी. फिर आपको दिखाई देगा कि एक ट्रांसप्लांटेड किडनी जो है, पिक टू ह्यूमन किडनी, जो पहली बार किस कंट्री ने की गई? यूएस ने की गई, राइट. उसके बाद जो यहाँ पे दूसरा फैक्ट इंपॉर्टेंट था वो ये है, पाक कोर्ट सेंड्स वुमेन टू लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट ओवर ब्लास्फेमी, राइट. Asia Bibi, a Muslim resident of the thickly populated Bedian Road area of Lahore, was arrested by police on a complaint by a man of her locality who accused her of burning a copy of the Quran outside her house. She was subsequently booked under the stringent blasphemy laws of the country, right. Now, his advocate had stated that she was wrongfully implicated by the neighbor to settle a personal score. But the prosecutor stated that she was caught red-handed while burning a copy of the Quran. You will find this news is there. EU to impose tariffs on Russian grain. This is again related to this. And last of the last current affairs is where you will find China and Philippines. The conflict is increasing in this region. Right, the conflict is increasing in this region. There is the South China Bay where 2 sandbars are there, islands are there, and Philippines government ships who were carrying scientists were trying to reach there, right. Now Chinese Coast Guard blew horn for half an hour and transmitted warnings. The scientists managed to complete their biodiversity research at the sandbars called Sandy Cay. Right, the Philippine official said. The Chinese Coast Guard spokesperson Gao Nu said that they boarded the sandbars and dealt with illegal activities by 34 Philippine personals. So this is going on between Philippines and in the South China Sea, between China and Philippines. Then again, there is this news from Indonesia, like I was talking about. Prabowo Subianto is the person who is winning presidential elections. Okay. And Joko Widodo ka beta Gibran Rakabuming Raka was running, but he had withdrawn. तो ये है हमारा 21 से लेके 23 मार्च तक क्या सारा इंटरनेशनल डायनेमिक्स का इशू. If you really like this particular type of analysis and found it interesting, please tell me in the comment section, because then only I would be able to continue these series, because this is basically for those students those who are not really up to date with newspaper reading and they are not ready to read the newspapers. किसी वजह से छूट जाता है पेपर अगर हमारा, तो उसमें मेजर जो चीज़ें रहती हैं वो हम कवर कर लेते हैं. अब देखिए यहाँ पे जोई बाइडन का इम्पीचमेंट करने की बात चल रही है, तो उसके ऊपर कोई एविडेंस ही नहीं आया है, तो ये इम्पीचमेंट फेल हो सकता है. उसके ऊपर हम बाद में बात कर लेंगे, लेकिन मेजरली सारे न्यूज़ जो हैं वो हमने कवर कर दिया है. So signing off from this analysis, I'll see you guys in the next.